Alright lads, welcome back to Kiwakat's House Magic. Today, I want to shore up Horobi. Horobi is my, big black deck. And the reason I'm using this one, I've got an original Kamigawa foil Horobi. But to make it apparent that I've changed the playstyle from what he was years ago, even though none of the lads I'm playing with now really remember the Horobi I used to have. The Genie kind of remembers because I was still playing it, but that was when he was showing that the way I was playing him was no longer effective. The way I was playing him was run out Horobi as quickly as possible, get some Horobi bullshit effects down like untap target creature, or Horobi says it dies. What else? 2 in black, even though this guy was not in that version of Horobi. I saw my OGS had a cheap copy foil, and I thought, that's an Ursa's Destiny foil, Donato Giancola art that actually fits Horobi, and they want how much for it? Mine. Order. Bang. Done. 2 in black, reveal any number of target black cards in your hand, any number of black cards in your hand, target creature gets neg-X, whatever. With Horobi in play, I don't have to show them any. I can 2 in a black, reveal 0 black cards, and target creature gets neg-0, it still gets targeted. Horobi's like, you got targeted, you're dead, motherfucker, bye. So that was the thing, is I would run out these Horobi bullshit effects, as my friends call them, as quickly as possible, get Horobi down, start killing their creatures, but that doesn't work anymore. The reason it doesn't work anymore is there's too many random things and precons and different decks that target, give my opponents the ability to target things themselves. So Horobi was getting killed left and right. So my new way to build the deck has to stand on its own. I still got a lot of Horobi bullshit, as you see right here. If Horobi comes down along with Cauldron of Souls, choose any number of target creatures. It doesn't matter what they get, they're going to die. So if Horobi is out, and I've got Cauldron of Souls, I can tap it and say, all your creatures over there, all of them, they'll get targeted, they all die. Gone. Unless they have Indestructible, Sexproof, or Shroud. Then they don't die. But everything else, Horobi kills it. So what I did is I got big black creatures, big beaters, things to kick the shit out of people, like Willis here. Willis, Burker of Good Time. So 5 quad or triple black, 8 for an 8/8 flying demon. Spend 1 black, pay 2 life, target creature gets neg-1 until end turn, and I draw 2 cards. What the fuck? What's not to love? I mean, 8 mana is hard to get to, but not the way I built Horobi. It's quite doable, quite quickly, if the deck even half works. Kiko Knight's Flower, black, 2 black, tap, target creature smacks itself in the face. So if its power is equal to or greater than its toughness, it kills itself. It just goes emo and finds a rope and a tall tree. Done. Touch of Darkness, 1 black, change the color of one of our target creatures to black till end turn. So if Horobi's in play, I can turn all those creatures black and they all die because they become emo. So that's kind of where I am. I'm not really doing a review of Horobi. Given the way I do these, it's probably going to become a review. That's the way it always seems to work. But anyway, I've got these cards. So Horobi, one of the problems is, so you probably have decks like this where you need certain lands, you need certain colors, you need things in the early turns. Horobi in the early turns, it's really helpful if he can get Lake of the Dead. I'm trying to, there, fuck it, lay down, you bitches. Don't want to sit in my hand properly. Okay, so Horobi, Lake of the Dead is great early game, but I have to keep drawing swamps, keep drawing lands. He's got 39 lands, although a few of them don't really do anything. Maze of Ith, it's there to somebody attacks me, Horobi's in play, creature becomes untapped, it's targeted, it dies. Or, if Horobi's not in play, I'm still not getting hit with whatever the hell it is. It goes to the maze. But in the early game, so I need lands reliably. Of course, later in the game, I don't really care about drawing that many lands. But Burnished Heart will give me 2 swamps pretty quickly. 3 for a 2/2 elk, spend 3, sacrifice it, go find 2 basic lands, put them into play tapped in the shuffle. So I kind of want to put this in to help with those early turns of getting my mana. And then Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor here, so I was watching a Nitpicking Nerds video, and they were talking about cards that have fallen because of reprints. And I watched it, and most of the cards I either already had, or I didn't care about, and then they showed Gix. And they said his price had fallen because it got reprinted recently, but given what he is, it'll probably go back up. So I looked at him, paused the video. 1 double black for a 3/3 Fraction Praetor. Okay. That's not bad. Why is he mythic? Because whenever a creature punches another one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life if they do draw a card. So he's kind of like a black Edric Spymaster Trest. But he's got this other bullshit. 4 triple black, 7 mana. Throw away X cards, exile the top X cards to target opponent's library. You may play lands to cast spells from among those without paying the mana cost. Huh. That sounds dirty. Sounds real dirty. I want to do it. So, because the price had fallen on the flat because of the reprint, the foil had come down too, so I picked one up from LGS. So I want to, if you look at the deck list, you see he's got kind of a high mana curve. I need to bring it down. I need to bring it down a lot. I've got things in here that reduce it, but if I don't get those things, then, I mean, you saw Willis, he cost 8. He cost 4 and 6, 6 life. But in theory, he cost 7. Shoulder Whispering Wench, he cost 7. Grave Titan, he cost... I went a little crazy with the high mana curve, the high casting cost. Because there's just so many pretty things I wanted for the deck. So many dirty things I wanted to do. But now it's time to face reality and realize that I need to cut things. Like things I did not want to cut. So, Stronghold Overseer. I really like this guy. But he just doesn't really fit many decks. And that's why he doesn't get played. Because he doesn't fit that many decks. What does he do? 3 triple black for a 5/5 Flying Shadow. So he's got double evasion. He's got Flying and Shadow, which... if more people played Shadow, the flying would be relevant. The fact that almost nobody plays Shadow, who cares that he's got flying? It doesn't matter. But double black, creatures of Shadow get plus from +0 till end turn. Creatures without Shadow get -1, -0. So, the reason I was justifying him is if I get attacked the horde of squirrels, zombies, nutcases, SJWs, whatever, then if I've got mana available, I can dump mana and take their power down, cross the board, and take the sting out of it. So if I'm getting attacked by, say, 10 4/4s, that's a lot of damage. If I can spend 4 black and make them 10 2/2s, 2/1s, whatever, and that's a little more reasonable. That's probably not going to kill me, depending on what's going on in the game. So I thought I would take out Stronghold Overseer, but because he does have that option that can save my... oh, look at that fucking glare. Can I put him in a way that you can actually see him? Yeah, okay, so you can see him now. Get him out of the direct light. That's a good idea. So let's review some of the higher cost things, because I want to take something high cost and drop it for at least Gix. The Burnished Heart, I don't want to take anything black out. What I would want to do is take out an artifact. Because I've got Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx, I've got Nyx Lotus. So I've got things that deal with the black mana that trigger on devotion. So because I've got things that trigger on devotion, I want to I don't want to reduce it. So I either need to take out an instant sorcery or artifact for that heart. So that's the restriction there. Let me just take a look and make sure. I've got Moxfield open up there. I just want to check my land count real quick. Yeah, I've got 39 lands. But sometimes it doesn't feel like enough because a lot of times, Horobi, I get a hand with one land. And it's like that. Or it's 9 glaciers. And like, fuck. So we do the partial Pere Mulligan. So I take 4 cards, set them aside, draw 4 cards, and I get another land. But it's like that. So mono black, and those are my first 2 lands. Fuck you, deck. So I think Burnished Heart will help me with that. Anyway, let's review the high casting cost things. Anything 6 or higher. Well, Grave Titan. 6/6 Death Touch comes to play, creates 2 zombie tokens. Yeah, is that better than Stronghold Overseer? I mean, he's got Death Touch. Same, a little bit easier to cast. Creates buddies, so we'll take a look at him. What else have we got for high cast? Noxious Ghoul. 5/4 Menacing Artifact Construct comes into play, kills another creature, and if it does kill it this way, I gain life equal to its toughness. Oh yeah. Okay, I just realized the reason, this phrasing with Horobi isn't the best for me, because he comes into play, and if Horobi's in play, you may destroy another target creature. So Horobi, because I get targeted, says, "Sorry, Gearhulk, I'm killing him, not you. No life for our master." So do I want that? What else do I have that kills creatures? Maybe I don't need the Gearhulk. Because, I mean, with Horobi, I've got a lot of ways to kill. Maybe the Gearhulk is really what I need to look at. Because it's 5/4 Menace. So he's got kind of an evasion. Alright, we'll take a look at him. Maybe he'll come out. Maybe that's what I should have been thinking of. That's another reason I'm doing it, so I don't get stuck in the rut of just, okay, this is a good card, stays. Well, why is it a good card? Why should it stay? Why am I playing this over something else? I've got this card that I want to shove in. I need to reduce the overall casting cost, the overall mana curve. So something has to give. Okay, 4 black, 5/5 Death Touching Demon. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. Well, with Horobi out, and some Horobi bullshit effects, I'm going to be killing creatures, so I will be drawing cards. So he is a solid inclusion and should stay, because he works holistically with the deck in either of its thrusts. Either big black creatures, so a 5/5 Death Touch, or if Horobi comes down, I start doing Horobi bullshit, then he becomes even more valuable. So he stays. I could take out Phyrexian Arena for Gix Yawgmoth Praetor, but the problem with that is this is reliable. Every turn I will lose 1 life, draw a card. Bang, 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 like clockwork. Gix, I have to get creatures through. That's not as reliable. Board wipe, all the creatures die, and then I have to cast creatures, wait for the Summoning Sickness to wear off. So I better keep the Phyrexian Arena. Thief of Blood. The only creature this impacts in my deck really is Vedmir Doomblood, because whenever I target something, whenever I commit a crime, he gets a +1/+1 encounter. She would take all those counters from him. She also and Crick. She takes counters from Crick. So she takes counters from Crick, Vedmir, and Liliana of the Dark Realms. Which Liliana of the Dark Realms is, she loses her counters and she just dies because she's a planeswalker. But when I have played her before, one time I played against Cube's Tirana's deck. She was like a 30-30. She was fucking huge. So, for the fact that she's got this, it doesn't always matter. Sometimes it's completely irrelevant. Okay, remove all counters. Nobody has that many counters on their permanents. Nobody is really playing that many planeswalkers. So she's kind of dead in the hand. But on those games when a lot of people are playing planeswalkers and a lot of creatures my opponent's control have plus and plus encounters, oh yeah, she's worth her weight in gold. So she'll stay for that reason. Crick. So 4 and 6 life. 2/2 lifelinker. Lets me play all my black cards quicker by playing Phyrexian Mana. So he helps get around the fact that I have so many high casting on things. So he stays. There's Vedmir, New Blood. There's Liliana of the Dark Realms. +1, go find a swamp. Neg 6. Swamp control. You get an emblem. Swamps you control, have tap, add 4 black to your mana pool. The middle part, I don't know if I've ever used it, ever. I want swamps, and I want my swamps to produce a lot more mana, so then I want more swamps, so they can produce more mana. This guy costs 3, and we're not looking at 3s, we're looking at 6. Willis, Broker of Good Times, 8 mana, 8/8 flyer. But he can target creatures, so he works with Horobi, and he draws me cards. So on all accounts, he's very good for this deck. Do I care about this? The dragons, the life gain is so small, I just don't worry about it. But the return target creature cards, maybe I don't need that. That's okay. Maybe I don't need Palace Siege, because it just does nothing. If I have no creatures in my graveyard and I've picked cons, it does nothing. And dragons, beginning of your upkeep, okay, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. So there's a 2-point swing in life totals against all my opponents, which in Commander kind of doesn't matter. Over the course of the game, it can matter, but typically it doesn't. Shouldered Whispering One, 7 mana for a 6/6 Swampwalker. Beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card. So if I've got her, this comes down quicker. Yes, this comes down quicker. But it comes back to my hand. She says, hey, put it back into play. Resurrect that motherfucker. Put his ass back to work. They, dock that chink a day's pay for napping on the job. That's what she says. And she makes my opponent sacrifice creatures. So I've got that for recursion. So maybe the Palace Siege is what I don't really need. What else do I have that costs more than 6? Let's see. I've got this board wipe for small creatures. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe don't worry about the small creatures. Maybe Stronghold Overseer with his Creatures Without Shadow get neg 1 ability for 2 black. Maybe that means I don't need this. I'm kind of hesitant to take out the board wipe though. What else? I've got Vora Stronghold for recursion. Put something back on top of my library, and if I'm drawing more than 1 card a turn, it doesn't choke my draws that much, and I get something back. He costs 5, but for 2 and a black, so he comes into play, puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature I don't control. So he makes a creature I don't control bigger. But if Horobi's in play, he says, when he comes into play, destroy target creature, if he's working with Horobi. And then 2 and a black, destroy target creature with a counter on it. It doesn't matter what kind of counter. Neg 1, +1, flying, death touch, pimping. If it has a pimping counter, he'll kill it. He doesn't care. You've got a counter. I don't like you. You're ugly. I'm going to kill you now. I don't really know why I have this in here. I don't even remember why I bought it. I bought it because I was watching some video somewhere and somebody said it was good. So I saw my LGS had a foil one. I picked it up. 1 black for a 1/1 extort. Okay, the extort is pretty good in this deck to get down early. Tap, pay 2 life, remove a counter from target non-land permanent. I've not had it in play yet to see how useful that really is. It doesn't sound that useful though in a commander game. Cube, how big is that fucking Tyrannid bastard over there? Oh, he's a 20/20. He's got 18 +1/+1 counters on him. Oh, sweet, I'm going to pay 2 life and take one of them off. It doesn't sound very fucking effective, but maybe it is. I don't know. What else do I have that is big? Massacre Worm. 3 triple black, 6/5. When it comes to play, creature's opponent's control get -2/-2 until in turn. Whenever one of those motherfuckers dies, that player loses 2 life. Yeah, this will control the token hordes that pop up from time to time that oppose me. Bloodgift Demon, 3 black for a 5/4, and he's basically Phyrexian Arena. Beginning of your upkeep, target player, me. I target me. I want the card. Fuck you guys. I get the card. Piss off. Witch of the Moors, Death Touch. So, I was thinking of taking this guy out, but actually he seems better the more I think about it. 3 black for a 4/4 Death Touching Human Warlock. So, if he's in play, in Mikaeus, did I even see Mikaeus? No, he's in that stack over there probably. I haven't even gone through all the cards, fuck. Beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, each opponent sacks a creature and you return up to 1 target creature from graveyard to your hand. So he costs the same as Palace Siege, if I choose cons. He doesn't trigger every turn, but if I gain life, then I get to get 1 creature from my graveyard to your hand at the end step, and this triggers during my upkeep. So, if I'm relying on Palace Siege to get things back, what can happen is somebody can Bojuka Bog my graveyard, and I don't have a graveyard, so upkeep I don't get shit. Chainer Dimension Master, this is another way of getting things back. So I've got plenty of recursion. I don't really need Palace Siege. Mikaeus Unhallowed, 3 triple black, 5/5 Intimidating Zombie. Whenever human deals damage to you, destroy it. I'll never forget the time that actually became relevant. For years, I have been playing Mikaeus into various decks, and that whenever human deals damage to you never came up, ever. Until Cube played Grayson Star, and Grayson Star did damage to me, and Mikaeus said, "You have hurt my master. I'm going to eat your throat now." And did, and Grayson Star fucking died. Fuck him. Yeah, super life gain. So I think I don't need the Palace Siege. So that's why I run these exercises. That's why I run these exercises, to kind of go through mentally. And why do I have this card? Sometimes the cards in your deck, because of the way the game changes, because of the way your play style might change, because of the way you grow older and you want to do different things. You have a different play style. There are things that you used to do in the game that you don't want to do anymore. There are things in the game you haven't really done, and now you want to try them out. So it's just part of the growth. So it's good to review your deck and think about, why do I have this in here? What the hell is it going to do for me? And then go from there. And Palace Siege, I was not thinking of taking it out at all. It was not one of the cards I was considering, full stop. But now, it's the most obvious card to excise, because I have other life gain. I have other recursion. So it looks like I don't need it that badly. Now, for the Burnished Heart, let's look at my artifacts, sorceries, and instants. So Karn has to stay. So 5 for a 4/4 legendary artifact creature. Okay, when he blocks or becomes blocked, he becomes 0/8. Big deal. 1. Target non-creature artifact is an artifact creature, power and toughness, each equal to its CMC until end of turn. He's my artifact killer. If somebody has artifacts that are messing with me, if I get Karn down and a Horobi is down, Karn can turn those artifacts into artifact creatures, and if I start targeting them, Horobi fucking kills them. So he's my artifact control, oddly enough, in the deck. Soul Ring, yeah, that's going to stay. Since he's defining top, Do I really need that bad? Let's take that out for now. A little while. We'll think about that. Let's see, what else? Ritual Suit. Do I have Damnation in the deck? I don't think I have Damnation in the deck. Do I want that? Let's think about that. Icy Manipulator. This is Horobi bullshit for sure. 4, 1, tap target artifact creature land. So even if Horobi's not in play, somebody goes to combat. No, your big creature. I don't care who is attacking, but I don't think it should attack. Dust in the card. Let's see what else. Color agnostic way of finding swamps and card draw. That's something this deck needs. I've seen it proved time and time again. That's why I want the Burnished Heart. I want color agnostic ways of finding my goddamn swamps. 1,000-Year Elixir. 3, you may play activate. So a lot of my creatures who notice have activate abilities. Netling Imp, Royal Assassin, Kiku Knight's Flower, and having those being able to pop off as instant without summoning sickness is pretty damn key in this deck. It's pretty helpful. And then 1, tap, untap target creature. So if Horobi's not in play, I can untap my creatures and use their ability again. If Horobi is in play, I can untap a creature and kill it. Crucible Worlds. I can do dirty things with Crucible Worlds and Urza's Cave. Enough said. Star Compass comes to play tapped. I just like it. I like that I have a plane chipped version. Fortunately, my LGS had one in stock at a good price because nobody wants it. Who the fuck wants this card? Nobody. But me. So I bought it. And I think it's pretty and I like it. It's Donato Giancoda. And then it's Mana Rock. Trading Post. This card, I don't think I've ever had it in play. I don't know how good it is, but it seems to have a lot of potential in the deck. 4, 1 tap, throw away card, you gain 4 life. Well, if I'm low in life, I can do that. 1 tap, pay 1 life. Get a goat token. Okay, maybe I need to eat a goat. 1 tap, sack creature. Return target artifact card from graveyard to your hand. So, somebody blows up my Crucible Worlds, which is pretty fucking likely, or Karn Silver Golem, which is even more likely, I can just sack another creature and bring it back to my hand. And sacrifice an artifact or a card. So all in all, with those 4, I don't know, it just seems too good. Too many options. But once I actually have it play, maybe I'll say, this sucks and cut it. Maybe, I don't know. I need to find out. Nyx Lotus. Giant Mana Rock. 4. Comes to play tap. Choose a color. Black. Add an amount of mana to your mana pool equal to your devotion to that color. Okay, good. Better keep that. Oh, this guy's fucking great. I love this guy. He's so cheap. 2 mana. 2 mana. Drop into play. Tap. You may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. And if I've got the 1,000-Year Elixir, and if I have enough land in my hand, I can tap the 1,000-Year Elixir, untap him, and tap and put that. And it's any land. It doesn't say basic. Just any land. Maze of Ith. Cabal Coffers. Urborg. High Market. Tower of the Met. He doesn't give a shit. He just says, play some lands, Big Daddy. So he stays. Living Death. This is a pseudo board wipe. I don't have a lot of ways of taking up my opponent's graveyards, though. But this works pretty damn good. Drain life. This can be a game ender. If I get my mana production going big enough, I can just kill somebody. I killed Cube with this on camera a few months ago in a game. So that stays. What else? Death Denied. So the reason I have this in here, if somebody's going to exile my graveyard, and I have a lot of key creatures in there I don't want exiled, I can Death Denied, pull the important creatures out, and then watch everything else crumble to dust. It's an instant. So, and it doesn't cost that much. I mean, typically I'll have 2 to 4 creatures in the graveyard at any time, barring, I've built up a huge board. somebody to board wipe. So I've got more important creatures in the graveyard. But with this deck, with its mana production, if I think somebody's going to do board wipe or somebody's going to try to exile my graveyard, any kind of nasty shit, then Death Denied, bring those important creatures back to my hand. That said, I really don't know if I need this. Think about it. Jet Medallion, Black Souls cost one. Yeah, fuck, I keep that. Creature, 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 creature. Keeping all the creatures. Keeping all the creatures. I'm only looking at, because of the devotion thing, I'm only looking at instants, sorceries, and artifacts to remind you. Spoiling, sudden spoiling, 1 black, split second. Target player's creatures become 0/2 and lose all abilities. Yeah, this is one of the cards. If you play this card in your deck, a lot of times this is just going to sit in your hand and you're going to look at it and you're going to think how smug you'll be when you finally play it in response to some nasty shit that's happening, like somebody popping off some creature combo and you're like, no, your creature's 0/2 and they can't combo shit. Or somebody attacking you with a giant horde, they all become 0/2 and just run into me. But most of the time, this will sit in your hand doing nothing because you're waiting for that moment. You're waiting for the moment to really make most use out of it. It's worse than a fog, actually. If you have a fog in your hand, then whatever threat's coming at you, if it's significant, you'll fog and feel fine. But if you are just being attacked and you're not getting much value out of the creatures suddenly becoming 0/2, because if you fog, the creatures are still big, so you have to figure something out. But if you're being attacked with a bunch of creatures, and for whatever reason, you have to use this as a fog, and you cannot kill that many of these now 0/2 creatures that can't do anything, you feel bad. That said, I'll keep it in a bit longer, because it is a pseudo fog. Yeah, Liliana Night Realms, oh, she ain't coming out. Go find a swamp. Make your swamps produce more mana. Alright, baby. Cauldron of Souls, yeah, this direction, Horobi bullshit, this definitely stays. Let's see. Touch of Darkness, more Horobi bullshit, definitely stays. Power Matrix. Oddly enough, this is Horobi bullshit. 4. If Horobi's in play, hey, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give your creature +1/+1, flying first strike, and trample that don't end a turn. Oh, well, that's great. But Horobi says it got targeted and it dies. Oh, fuck you, man. Well, I was just trying to help you out. But if Horobi is not in play, this is pretty goddamn good. Toxic Deluge. So I don't have a Damnation in this deck. I've got Toxic Deluge. And I've got Ritual of Suit. Should I put it down? I've got Living Death. I don't have that many ways of exiling my opponent's graveyard, though. I mean, I've got Bajuka Bog, and what I can do is Bajuka Bog, and then if I get Urborg, it starts becoming really convoluted. If I have Bajuka Bog, and then Urborg to Yawgmoth, and Lake of the Dead, and Crucible Worlds, if I have all 4 of those, then I can Bajuka Bog somebody's graveyard. I can sacrifice Bajuka Bog to Lake of the Dead. Lake of the Dead can eat it. And then if I Crucible the World out, I can replay the Bajuka Bog and take out somebody else's graveyard. It's like being gay with extra steps, as Rick would say. Anyway, so do I want to take one of these out for the Burnished Heart? Since he's Divining Top actually fulfills the Burnished Heart's raison d'etat. So it costs 1 to put out. Look at the top 3. Now, I don't get to find lands, but I can look and see if lands are coming. And sometimes that's good enough. So that shouldn't come out. Death denied. Am I really that worried about somebody Bajuka bogging me with all the other... So Chainer can rip things out of my graveyard at instant speed. Of course, he makes some nightmares, so if I lose control of him, they all get exiled. And then this Ritual Suit. Destroy creatures at the mana cost 3 or less. Now, that said, I do have other ways, a lot of ways, of dealing with my opponent's creatures. I've got Massacre Worm for the small creatures. Although a lot of times now there are creatures with CMC 3 or less that have 4 toughness. Sometimes it's fucking crazy. And then if Horobi comes out, this is really only in here to kill tokens. This really only kills tokens. Because this is hard because I do want the heart. But the thing is, actually, to be honest, if I put Gix in there, so if I've got Gix in there now, then when my creatures connect, and I'll be more encouraged to attack, when they connect, I can pay life and draw cards. This is like massive Suicide Black. This is becoming more and more Suicide Black. I just need to put Necropotence in there and fucking go to town. Okay, so actually, I feel like I'm letting you down. All this build up for nothing. So all this build up, all this talk, all this discussion, all this review, and in the end I only change one card. I don't put the Burnished Heart in. I'll see how it plays, and then go from there. What do you think? Fair?